Up, looks like we are live. What is going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Narik Chase channel. I am your boy Narik Chase. This is episode 39 of the Streamline podcast, and I know I said I would start doing more like pre-shot videos. Yeah, gosh, the pre-shot videos and everything, but I didn't do that. So we're gonna go ahead and go back to this format of just streamlining it, which ironically enough is the Streamline podcast, but it doesn't really matter. Anyways, episode 39, we are going to be talking about the top 10 things that should be in a Wonder Woman video game. Now, this video will not be limited to just those top 10 things. I'm quite sure I'm going to think of something while we're doing this to probably extend it maybe to a few more topics. But officially, this is the top 10. So without further ado, let's just get into this. Now, Wonder Woman has not really debuted with a game of her own. Yes, they might have mobile games, but it's not actually a full fleshed out story game with characters and gameplay and all of that good stuff. Recently, Wonder Woman did have a film come out, which is the Wonder Woman from 2017, performed by Gal Gadot, and she did have a television series portrayed by Lynda Carter. So she has been on the big screen as well as the small screen. And of course, she is one of the most legendary and memorable and most prominent female characters, if not the most prominent female character in comic book history. And yes, she's part of the Justice League, DC Comics. And yes, her teammates our compatriots Superman and Batman have had their share of games, their share of films, and we're seeing her character being pushed to the forefront as well. So it's about time she got her moment to catch up. And having said that, I actually want to go ahead and establish that she doesn't have a game, so let's go ahead and talk about a game, which she definitely needs. Now, the top 10 things that should be in a Wonder Woman video game, let's get into this bad boy. Of course, we got to have open world gameplay, and I am just happy with just having it set on Themyscira. Now, Themyscira is the island of Amazon, so it would be really cool, and not to mention it's magical and it has all these mythological references to it. But not only does it have, not only would an open world be great for like presentation of the Amazon culture as well as like the warriors, the cultural structures of their buildings, the different, but mostly it's going to be for the various environments, both natural and some with more of the magical flair to it. Like I would like to see that. Now, if you can't get a full-fledged open world Wonder Woman game, I would like to at least see. Okay. God, please. I would like to see at least a big like sectional part, like the new God of War game, where there's big open sections like Dragon Age Inquisition, as well as like Borderlands, even the reboot of Tomb Raider. Like it would be good to have a full fleshed out, great looking game. Now, if we can't get this on Themyscira, which I think it would be pretty cool to have. The game first take place on the Themyscira, which will give us access to all of these great locations that we've seen in like the movies or read about in books or something like that. But it would be nice to see an actual physical representation outside of the movie, which did a great job with it. I would like to see perhaps another island, another realm or something. Now, I'm not mean open world, and if we are able to do like actual open world, I would do it in the vein of like somewhere of like the Far Cry games, that type of open world. Yes, the maps are massive. It's been playing Far Cry 5 recently, and I really enjoy just the diversity of the topography. Topography, yes. So I like that, and I would like to see this in a game for Wonder Woman, and not to mention. Along with her abilities such as, okay, if there are mountains, yes, she can possibly climb the mountains. Yes, she can swim in the rivers, ponds and lakes or things like that. Traveling, yes, it would be awesome to see her possibly ride a chariot or ride a horse, or just like different. Now I would say like different like that, and I guess if you want to go, so you could say. Which kind of goes to like how she would travel. Damn. But maybe even possible flight. But mostly, I would like to see a grand open world. And that's the question: the open world, actual open world experience versus like the big sectional experience. I think the sectional experience will be better for concentration of the actual map area, which I think that would help a lot because when I played the reboot of Tomb Raider, I really enjoyed the maps. I thought they were just fantastically constructed, just really beautiful, with just a lot of detail, and they felt very active. So I would like to see an open world, and if they did have to put it to where it was like a section, I wouldn't really have a problem with that. Where the game will be set, that's another story altogether. Now, as far as the second thing that should be in a Wonder Woman video game, I would like the skill tree with like upgradable abilities. Now, me, I would not mind having. I'm with the skill tree where you can't go get all the skills because that could add to the replayability. Yes, you can have Wonder Woman having three skill sets. One, I guess, would be combat, which would be great. One would be weapons and equipment, and as efficiency, as well as her actual powers. So you have the combat, weapons and equipment, and her physical prowess, as well as her powers. Like she has super strength, increase her strength, uh, durability, regeneration, combat, make it to where she's able to flow better, react faster, make her combos more deadlier, more long range, be able to do better chains. Of course, with the weapons, become more precise with their attacks. Critical hits become more powerful as well as more often. Even with the weaponry, maybe increase the range of it. Like, say if you have a lasso of truth, you get more efficient with it. With multiple opponents or something like that. So as far as the skill tree, I'm one of those that should say go ahead, put it to where you can either try to balance it out between all of them, or you can try to focus on your combat, or you can focus on your superpowers. You can focus on just your efficiency with weapons, which I think that'll be awesome because again, it'll add to the replayability. Because I would like to see Wonder Woman. I just would like to be able to play with that a little bit. With okay, maybe I'll go through the game with her just being this powerhouse, upgrading her physical powers, make her just awesome. Then go back and try with weapons and see how that would change the gameplay up, and then go back to just the combat to see how well she is fighting multiple opponents. Or doing different techniques, which I would not mind. I would not mind. So there definitely is the skill tree upgradable abilities that should be in the game. Now, I would say, as for the third point, I want to say, of course, give us a great, engaging story. Wonder Woman has many great stories, and I would love for the game to actually take us into that. And I think it would be more powerful giving the large roster of characters she has, both as allies as well as enemies. And that would be pretty cool to see cameos from other well-known characters that could possibly in the Justice League or be like anti-heroes, or give new representations, of course, of these mythological beings such as Zeus and Ares and Hades. And I would like to see Hera. It'd be pretty awesome to see those types of characters, but I would like to see a great story that offers a lot of great development. And I guess if you want to go for a great story like that, as well as help her with her abilities that build up, it could be somewhat not exactly an origin story, but a story that makes her come out to be Wonder Woman, or just reboot it. I recently read Wonder Woman Warbringer, and it was about her coming into the world. Now, we do know that Wonder Woman actually met Steve Trevor, which is the reason why she actually came to the world of man, and most incarnations of an origin story. So this will be a great way to reboot that origin story. And even possibly, if Rocksteady picks up this project, even use that as a way to introduce the Batman Arkham series, if they're going to continue having a continuation of that, or well as a Superman game, if they're going to go that route. But if it's just a Wonder Woman game that they're going to go with that is already pre-established, then a good original story would do just as well. And this kind of goes into part 4. bring the characters, the Queen of Polita, bring Ares, bring Hades, bring Cersei, Cheetah. Just bring all of these great characters. I would like to do it in a way that they did Batman Arkham game. Yes, a lot of the characters that were initially there to build up on the story, but there were a lot of great side stories, so there were a lot of great characters that were brought in the Arkham games. So I would love to see that same thing happen in a Wonder Woman game as well. And of course, the supporting cast is just builds a lot of great content, and it will help to flesh out Wonder Woman as get let people know about these characters. Because I'm a Wonder Woman fan, but I haven't read the comics, and I don't know her Rose Gallery or her supporting cast like that. So it'd be good for me. That would help me get to know some of these characters, whether they're good guys, bad guys, or indifferent. Um, Part 5, and I'm a bit spoiled because Injustice 2 definitely need and so many other character customization games definitely need character customization. Specifically, me personally, I wouldn't mind weapon customization as well as armor customization. If you want to customize the outfits or the way Diana has her hair or something like that, I think that would be a great addition too. But I would not mind definitely need wanting to have the armor customization because that makes for a lot of great replayability to fine tune your Diana to just the way you want her to look. Yeah, utilize the system that you do have in Justice 2 because that's a great customization system. But if you want to take it a step further, go ahead, get a little bit more detail, especially with like model outfits from like the comics or the series or the movies or the just anywhere else you can get them and allow us to just armor it all up. Or if you want to just stick with the costume. Me personally, I think the armor looks a hell of a lot better than just the actual costume. Except for the Justice League animated, the DC animated universe version of it, where she has like the full like bodysuit almost. That costume actually looks pretty badass. But we definitely need the armor customization. Plus, that could go towards building up on exploration because usually games like this, the more you explore, the more content you unlock, the more it helps with the customization. So I think that'll be a great way to deal with the armor customization. Also, for number 6, we're going to be talking about, of course, various weapons that could be in the game, magical ones, more practical ones. Now, the more modernized Wonder Woman is seen with a sword and shield, and honestly, I think it's a great. I think it's great actually because it makes her seem more like an Amazon, and it more emphasizes her as a warrior. I would not mind seeing her having a mode to where you can play without just go hand to hand, or you can just stick with your sword or your shield, or you can be able to just use your shield, or you can go ahead and just stick with your sword, or you can use combinations like okay, she has a sword and an axe, or an axe and a shield. I think it would be great to actually allow her to be able to have these types of weapons and these different choices. Like what if she were able to utilize a spear? I think that'll be pretty awesome, or a pole axe. And that will go into the efficiency of how she uses her weapons, which I think again is a great way to add a lot of great replayability to a game like this. Just offer that, and plus she's on an island full of warriors that have been there for thousands of years, know all these different arts of war. There's no reason in the world you should not have a whole bunch of different weapons, including the lasso of truth, the tiara, possibly even a bow and arrow. And to make it even better, it would be so awesome to have not only just these different types of weapons, but also have like magically enhanced ones that are good against certain enemies, one that can have special effects. There's just so many ways they could go with the different weaponries. And again, if you get that skill tree to where she can build up on the efficiency of weapons, that'll be even more awesome. 7. If we're going to have a large map, even with the open sections, we definitely need to fast travel. Yes, there are so many other ways that you can end up getting somewhere, whether it's a boat, whether it's flying, whether it's climbing, whether it's riding horses or chariots or anything like that. But I think that they should continue to have that fast travel because that also helps. Um, it does help to get across the map pretty fast. Uh, I already said the armor customization with the different costumes, but what I'm going to change my number 8 to is a more interactive environment. I like a lot of these pre-established games, especially some with the sectionals, but I would like it to have like a day-night cycle, have different weather, fog, things like that. Also, if it's like a desert or something, have like a sandstorm, or or if you have a marsh, have it be like all misty and stuff like that. If you're on a beach, have storms and things like that happen. Like that would be great to have an interactive environment, which I'm going to go ahead and write this down right now because that was actually a pretty good idea. Also, when I say interactive environment, why not have some creatures there too? Creatures like mythological creatures, as well as like deer, horses, alligators. I don't know, a Cerberus or something like that. Just have actual creatures, birds chirping and things like that to help fully flesh out the environment. Number 9, of course, we gotta have these grand boss battles. And when I say grand, this is Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is like the female version of Kratos, or Kratos, however you want to say. And Kratos represents like mythology out the ass, and so does Wonder Woman. So there definitely needs to be some badass boss battles with a lot of these mythological creatures: Cerberus, the Hydra, Ares, Cersei. Just take it to the extreme. I want to see some badass characters. Especially, I would definitely love to see a fight between her and Cheetah. I think that'll be, because I like Cheetah. Cheetah's one of my favorite characters, and I like for her to just go ahead and just go toe to toe with Cheetah. Um, but have us fight these like badass giant monsters. And number 10, this goes to what I was just saying about the fighting style and the gameplay style. Now, this is the question of the day. What type of fighting style or gameplay style should this game actually have? Which probably should have been number 1. But there are several great examples for a game engine type mechanic that a Wonder Woman game could play off of. You could go with the Rocksteady's version of Batman, which I did say I did a video about Superman Rocksteady, what they could do to have a Superman game. I'm gonna do that with Wonder Woman, and I think like with the fighting system of the Arkham series, where there's a whole bunch of counters and chains and stuff, that definitely would do a great job and go a long way with a game like Wonder Woman, because she is a fighter. So, and what I was saying again with the fighting and combat with the skill tree, this could potentially help her just become a badass and unlock new skills and help make the efficiency just badass. Now, if Rocksteady does make a Wonder Woman game, I will say this: they need to just go ahead and just copy that mechanic from Batman Arkham, the Arkham series. Just give it to her and spread everything. Just not only from like the countering system to the chain build up, as well as implementation of the various weapons. So I would not mind that. Now we could go to the Bayonetta or the Devil May Cry or the God of War, was more of like a hack and slash, and that can work too, because again, Wonder Woman is a warrior, and it's great to see. It would be awesome to see uh, her being like a hack and slash game. It could totally work. Now she does also have like super speed, and I noticed in Bayonetta they do have those like super speed moments and stuff like that with the characters. Even in what's that, Metal Gear Solid rating, like even like with that, like that system would be freaking awesome for a Wonder Woman game. It'd be a great hack and slash game. And, also, and I was even brought it up several times, and I've seen it on the web too. I think this game could benefit from being designed after a Tomb Raider game, as well as for like the exploration, the platform, and the puzzle solving. I think that'll be exceptionally good, especially with the mythology that they've got just built up, and it'd be nice for exploration as well as implementation of some of the combat. Because think about it, Wonder Woman with a bow and arrow could be just a badass mechanic like they did in Tomb Raider. But maybe that's just simply for like the weapons. Like I could see, like, I mean, of course the game would be third person, and that'd be pretty badass. Uh, but I think that'll be something that I'm not really sure. I think they could blend all three of them if they want to. Like, go have the actual gameplay mechanics be like Tomb Raider, but when you get into certain combat situations, it either turns to the hack and slash, or it could turn to like the Batman Arkham. So I think there is a lot to have. I mean, what if you didn't have weapons? If you didn't have weapons, have it. If you're just hand to hand, have it play like the Arkham games. If you have weapons, switch it over to the hack and slash. So there's a lot that these games can go through. Can have, kind of have it play off a little bit like Horizon Zero Dawn. Like that would be awesome too. So have that combat mechanic as well. Now, one thing I wanted to say that I didn't bring up is, of course, Wonder Woman's best known for her being able to play bullets. Now, I think that'd be also a great skill that can be upgraded in through the skill tree. Because if you think about it, what happens if she's doing that? If you have to hold block and she has to do it, and then the more you upgrade, the more efficient she gets, the faster she gets, till it gets to a point where you upgrade to its final point, and guess what happens? It automatically does it. So that's like an interesting idea. But these are just 10 ideas that I came up with. Like that should be in the Wonder Woman game. Should definitely be considered in the Wonder Woman game. And I would love to have this discussion with Ken or Zach or Madam B about a Wonder Woman game and what you think of it. But guys, in the comment section below, let me know what you think should be in a Wonder Woman game. And that, just give me at least 5 different topics or ideas, and also rate me on the ones that I said, and tell me which one you think work well, which ones that don't work. Be sure, guys, to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to get the best of what's going on this channel. Remember, Tuesdays and Thursdays we do upload videos, so stay tuned, and I will catch you guys later at the next video. Peace out, buddies.